What is up, everyone? This is Omegabalmung here with, a little bit of a comic book pickup. But first, what I wanted to do was show you guys the wall that I put up. I not put up, but I finally decided to put all my prints up on my wall. You get to zoom in here. And, yeah, so it's actually really pretty awesome here. I'm trying to get some more and try to at least fill up this whole wall. So I got like this side of the end to go to, and gotta move all that. Kind of just want to end up going all that there. I don't know if I want to move this and maybe have actually a whole wall, but these are my books, of course, on the ground there. I have actually a place for them. They got put up, but like I said, all I wanted to do was actually just show you guys my wall here. Some of them are prints I bought from at the Wizard World Comic Con. Some of them were prints I bought from what was that, Art Crawl at my sister's apartments. They have some pretty cool one, like I want to show you, like that one right there. And then some of them are just like advertising stuff from when I went and bought some some comic books at my local comic book store, like the Inhumans stuff here with Medusa, and I don't remember this guy's name. And then I also got this one. It's actually a cover from the original Sin 1. It's a baby variant cover, but like I said, I just want to show you guys my wall that I'm getting up there just before we do some comic books. Alright guys, so like I said, comic book pickups of the week. I kind of stayed true to what I was saying about picking up less books, but it's still a little bit over what I want to get. But there's so many good books that came out. There are so many good books that I usually read that just came out. So anyways, let's get started here. First of all, it is Fantastic Four issue 5. So here we go. I got this little like frame stand that I found just laying around, so that helps a lot. But like I said, Fantastic Four issue 5. I was a big fan of the Fantastic Four, just reading them. Issue 1, 2, 3, 4. From the last one, if you remember, they finally rounded up the Wrecking Crew gang, and at the end of that book, you have the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming in and giving them a warrant that they're being pulled on trial. So this actually just picks up right after that. They're in trial. They're kind of looking at all what the Fantastic Four has been doing, destroying cities, fighting bad guys, destroying cities, and you get a little bit of their past inside of there. So and then She-Hulk is, of course, their attorney. So that's pretty cool. And then you find something that happens at the end of this book, which is kind of messed up. But anyways, I enjoyed the book a lot. Like I said, not much action in this book. More just them getting, pretty much bringing them from the, telling them what they have been doing, destroying cities, like I said. But like I said, I did enjoy the book a bit, so I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. Loved it. Okay, next up is Superman, issue 31 from the new 52. This one is with the, the Superman Doom story here. You have Lex Luthor has, they caught Superman, so now he's kind of just chained up by Lex Luthor, and they're just trying to find ways to get Superman back. And you have Lois here, as you can see. She's kind of looks like Brainiac, and he wants to talk to Lois, and he's talking. Like, if you guys don't find a cure for me, go ahead and do what you guys, go ahead and tell what people, write the paper about what I'm doing and all this thing like that. And then you get a little scene of him helping out the new Teen Titans, which is freaking awesome. They were struggling against a bad guy. He just comes in like whack and is done. And everybody's like, stand back. This isn't Superman. This is not our Superman. And he's like, oh yeah, did you see what I did there? That's freaking awesome. I loved it, but like I said, a little light on the action. Story-wise, it's okay too. I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. And I love the Superman Doom stuff, so. Next up is Features in issue 4, and it keeps going. This is, like I said, this is a weekly issue. You're looking at pretty cool, storylines between different characters. This one starts out with Frankenstein, and if you read the one from last week, it starts out with him too, being attacked by a robot, and he's like, "Oh, I know who's attacking me." So he goes and talks to Shade, the group Shade, and they're like, "Oh, you have to go and check out what happened to what were they called again? Storm Watchers?" Because if you remember in the first book, they pretty much get demolished. Like their ship blew up. Hawkman is dead. I forgot who was with Hawkman in there, but and now has to go and look for what happened to the Storm Watchers. Then you get a little bit of look at I think it was Red Robin. I think it was, and as he's like jogging, supposedly he's dead. But of course not. And he's jogging. He sees another picture. He sees Terry McGinnis, which is Batman Beyond, on the screen, and he's like, "Oh, Batman's at it again." So a little bit weird. And then what was the other story? Oh man, totally forgot. But anyways, as always, Features End. I think they're just telling their tale right now. It's a little slow. It's a lot of just dialogue and talking. Like I said, they're probably telling what they want to tell, and then start to where things will start happening, like what we hear from what Terry is talking about. So pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Like I said, still a pretty cool book. Going to keep picking up. This is going to be one of my weekly pickups, and hopefully it does get a little better. Maybe a 2 out of 5. Go with 2.5, I guess. I usually don't like using those, but like I said, it's not very good, and it's good. It's like in between that, I guess. But like I said, it's still pretty cool. I enjoy it. Enjoy the read. Wish there's a little bit more action, but that's what happens. Next up is giant size SpiderMan. This is like a one-shot. I don't know if you guys read the 1.1 Learning to Crawl or something like that. Amazing Spider-Man. In that one, you learn how Spider-Man became Spider-Man. It's another retelling of his origins. And this one, they're going throughout different villains. You have Doc Ock, you have Vulture. What was the other ones? Oh man, I totally forgot. But it's like 3 or 4 bad guys that they revolves around them, and they just kind of tell the tale of when Spider-Man fights him and things like that. So pretty, I guess, not so. It's not part of the main storyline. Like I said, it's just like a one-shot, but it's a pretty cool read. Like I said, it's cool to see all the bad guys in one book. Each one, like I said, it's not like all of them fighting Spider-Man at the same time. It's just like different tales of them. So pretty cool stuff. I still give this probably a 2 out of 5. It's not really nothing to do with the storyline. It's just a little cool, quick read. I shouldn't say quick because this is a pretty big book, but a little quick read of Spider-Man, I guess, and his villains. Next up is Secret Origins issue 2, and of course I had to pick it up. I'm a sucker for origin stories. In this one, origins about Batman, Aquaman, and Starfire. Of course, Batman, everybody should know what happened. He talked about when his parents died, what he's done since then, and then how he became Batman. They don't really go through everything. They just says he's done this and done this and done this, and now he's Batman. He's here to fight for the people, and so it's pretty cool. Then you got Aquaman learning that his mom was an Atlantean, his dad is a researcher, I think so, or something like that, and he grows up learning all this stuff, and he becomes, and at the end of that story, he talks about how he wanted to kind of branch out himself out, so he goes and joins the Justice League. He meets people that are like him, and he learns more about other people that has powers like him, how to do a lot of that, then how he became Aquaman. So pretty cool stuff. Then Starfire, that one is pretty rough. Like I say, it's a good story, but it's very darker than the rest. I guess it's almost it's not as bloody as the Batman one, because the Batman one There's the one where they showed you when we killed Bruce's parents, and the blood splatters on his face. I'm like, oh wow. But anyways, in this one you have Starfire, who is pretty much their I should say world gets taken over, and she becomes a slave, and she kind of just learns how to fight. The one of her bosses, I guess, who teaches her. Well, you know, she kind of just like learns how to fight, and then she kind of just almost like a I guess a Conan Barbarian kind of way, where she learns how to fight and then just fights against them, uses their techniques and things like that, and then she, that's pretty cool. And like I said, it's a pretty cool read. Like I said, I'm always a sucker for origin stories. Pretty cool stuff. But I want to give this a 4 out of 5 because, like I said, I'm a sucker for origin stories. Next up is Red Lantern issue 31, and of course, it's a continuation from Supergirl. I forgot what issue that was, but the last Supergirl. This one, you see the Judge pretty much, or I should say Atrocitus and Dexter has found the Judge, and they're confronting her, and the Judge, what she does is she reads through your head, and passes judgment, kind of like a way a Spectre is, but she passes judgment on you, and if you have done wrong, I guess you die, and then you done right, you live. So she kind of goes on, looks through Atrocitus' head, and guess what? He lives. Atrocitus, of course, is pretty much looking for all the lanterns, because he made new rings, of course. And he's looking for all the red lanterns that I think he made like 6 rings or something like that. And now he's just looking for them. But Atrocitus, and she's like, oh yeah, Atrocitus, you're fine because what you are doing, you think it's right, and so and that's how Atrocitus, I guess. And then it's pretty much this, and you learn that he's captured. I forgot what his name was, but Blaze and Guy Garner, they all want that person back. I forgot, Rexar or something like that. Such for R, and it looks like it's going to be an all-out war between the Red Lanterns, between Atrocitus' group and Guy Garner's group. So we'll see what it is. This is part 3 of Judgment. So we'll see what happens next on the Red Lantern. I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. Next up, I've got a few more left, I guess. Ooh, yeah, just a few more. Next up is issue 2 of Inhuman. We have Inhuman. This one picks up after issue 1, of course. You learn who the fire guy is, Dante. He has become an Inhuman, I guess he works. Of course, Inhuman, I think of it kind of like X-Men, where you got these genes inside of you that kind of changes as you grow up, and that's what happens to become an Inhuman. And you have, of course, Captain Rogers here to talk to Medusa about what is going on. You can't fight this place by yourself because you are limited in resources, and he and the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wants to help out Medusa. And then you get a little bit of action scene with Medusa and Captain Rogers looking for this artifact that has dropped into, I think, central Manhattan or something like that, in one of those parks, I guess. And they're all fighting for it, and you see some pretty cool action scene between Medusa, which, whoever, I don't remember what group they were fighting against. They dropped like this big old airship that has all these guns coming out of it, and then Captain's like, oh, we are gonna probably need to fall back, and then she just uses her hair, of course, and just wraps around and just squeezes and it blows up, and they're like, nope, never mind. Pretty cool read, pretty cool stuff, pretty cool action. Like I said, it's kind of short. It's not as cool as the other books, but like I said, I still kind of want to keep going because I know nothing about the Inhumans, so I would like to see more, and probably go back into their history and read a little bit more about them to see what they are. So pretty cool stuff. 3 out of 5. Next up is Miss Marvel issue 4. Ooh, I think I bumped this up a bit here. This one is, of course, starts from the last issue where she gets Kamala gets shot, and then as looking like Miss Marvel, since she could shape shift herself, and then it's her friend who owns the shop, and I guess the person who shot, spoiler alert, I guess this person who shot her was the brother. So and then he runs away, and then she kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything, I'm shot, and then she finds out that it does hurt, but at the same time the bullet just passes right through her, and she's like, I think it's down in my pants, and she like whips it out. She's like, oh, here's a bullet. But at the same time, her shape-shifting powers, she can't shape-shift when she's injured, I guess. Mostly when she's shot, because it takes, I guess, too much energy for her to do. And then when they call the police, because they call the police first, and the police comes in, she's wearing this weirdo mask that she got off of the counter, and she's like, I am Miss Marvel, or I can't remember what she said, I am the superhero that something happens, and then at the end she finds out who, and then they go and find why. I can't remember his name. The one that, or I should say the brother that shot him. Not Kamala's brother, but the guy who owns the shop. I don't remember his name, but he goes and find out that he's with like this crew, this wrong kind of just crew, and she goes and investigates what is happening. She fights against these robots and stuff like that, so it gets pretty interesting. Of course, as usual, Miss Marvel, I kind of like this down-to-earth type of superhero where she, even though it's taking a little bit longer than I think for her to get to kind of learn her powers, it's still pretty cool, pretty down-to-earth stuff. So Miss Marvel, of course, I love it, 4 out of 5. I actually probably would give it 5 out of 5. And this one would probably be the book that I would probably pick up of the week. This would probably be my book that I would just actually go and pick up, of course. Next up is Batman Eternal issue 8, another weekly from the DC Comics. I'm about to say DC Universe, of course. I play a lot of DC Universe online. Meet me. You guys play DC Universe? I am on there. Anyways, Batman Eternal issue 8. This one is he kind of figures out who is from the last issue, who is the person in charge of all this incident that's happening, and you see a little bit part of Stephanie Brown. If you don't know, I think she was the Batgirl before this new 52. I guess it is the new 52 Batgirl too, but the one before oh my gosh, I'm blinking out. But the one before this Batgirl, which is Oracle or Barbara Gordon, the one before that. So, which you see a little bit part of that because I didn't even know that. It kind of blinked out on me. I think in the first issue, she finds out that her dad is one of the people who are sending these bombs around. Anyways, Batman finds out that Falcone is the person in charge of there, and he pretty much in the beginning of the first 2 pages, he's just whooping ass. Like I said, he's going around Gotham City, just taking out the Falcone goons, and that's freaking awesome. It's beastly. But anyways, to see a little bit more of the new commissioner. Oh my God, his first name, but they call him, his name is Commissioner Bard. And then you see what's happening. They set a trap for Batman, and they smash his bat signal, of course, and pretty much it's like starting over for Batman. He has to kind of, and then he knew there's a part of the scene where he he throws his smoke bombs, and the new commissioner actually has an upper hand on him, but has a gun like right close to his face, and he just lets Batman go. So he kind of senses that he has a little bit of support in the new the new Gotham City Police Department, GPCD, one of those, yeah, something like that. He does have a support in there, but at the same time, everything's pretty much against him. So that's pretty cool stuff. This is actually a really good read. Pretty cool artwork. The artwork in it is freaking awesome. I don't know who's there's so many names on here, but the artwork is freaking awesome. Give this one a 4 out of 5. Love it. Batman Eternal is getting better and better each issue I read it. Like I said, first 2 issues were a little rough for me, but it seems like it's just getting a little bit more interesting and more interesting as it keeps going. So I love it. And the last comic book pickup of the new comic pickup of the day is this week is Furious. Of course, I keep having to go back to Furious. In this one, we learned a bit more about Candace. This is Furious issue 5. A little bit more about Candace and who this person is. Let me see. This person, the bad guy, the other person, and I think her name was Jody or something like that. And back then, Candace, saved her from being beaten, and she took her under her Candace's wing, and kind of just becomes like almost like a friend, like pretty much a friend to her. And then something happens, and she technically dies, and at the same time, Candace is pretty much like, and then you learn how she gets her powers, and then at the end of this one, you actually see a little scene where everybody's like, cheering her on because she has become what she wanted to be, a person who saves people instead of a person who, a vigilante who is a menace to society. So now she's kind of like, oh yeah, she's a hero now. So pretty cool read. Pretty cool backstory to finally figure out how she got her powers, which is freaking awesome. And then you finally figure out who the villain is. So, like I said, this is a pretty cool read. I want to say at least give it at least if I could give it a 3.5, I will give it a 3.5, I guess, out of 5. Anyways, I have a few back issues I want to throw out here. First of all, I want to go with Green Lantern issue 25. This is from volume 4. I think this one's the first appearance of Atrocitus, I think so, which is pretty freaking awesome. I should say, I'm a big fan of Atrocitus. I don't know why. Out of all the Lanterns, he was my favorite character. DC Universe Online Legends issue 3. Of course, I have to go with that since I play DC Universe Online. Next up is Black Lightning issue 1. I think this is his first appearance in the first comic book. One of the first, I guess, is he the first African American character, comic book character, I should say. Yeah, it says Black Lightning issue 1. Next up would be Batman issues 5, 6, 7. This is, I think, a first appearance of this Batgirl. I forgot what her name is, but this is the Batgirl with the full mask on. So, pretty cool issue. These are all pretty much first appearances. Doorway to Nightmare issue 1. This is the first appearance of Madame Xanadu, which is friggin' awesome. This one, put this right here. And then we'll go with this one. Issue 1 of Manhunter. Next up is first appearance of the Grifter, yes. This is from this is Wildcats issue 1. I kind of need a new bag for this one, or not to say I really need a new bag for this one. Next up is Legion of Superheroes issue, was it 298? And the last two ones are, and of course I gotta keep picking these up. Superman issue 414 and Superman issue 415. And that is pretty much it for the comic book pickups of the week. This week I actually went and watched X-Men Days of Futures Past. and it was freaking awesome. I do kind of want to go watch it again, but at the same time, I haven't even seen Amazing Spider-Man 2 yet, so that will be my next movie I want to go actually watch. But like I said, X-Men, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's freaking awesome, freaking good storyline. Action is a little light, but what makes it pretty awesome, like I said, is the writing, the story. Just makes it interesting, and you're kind of like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? So, freaking awesome. But anyways, as usual, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys like my videos. Go ahead and hit the like button if you guys like my videos. Go ahead and add me on PlayStation Network if you guys, like I said, if you guys have PSN or PlayStation 3, 4, Vita. I have all three of those. Go ahead and hit me up, and on there my PSN ID is Omegabalmung, and I usually put that in the description. And like I said, if you guys play DC Universe Online, I am on there. I am a hero. I did have a villain once, but I deleted him or her. And I am a 103 CR, 104 CR sorcery healer. So anyways, go ahead and hit me up on any of those. Like always, I'll see everybody next time for the comic book pickups of the week.